Okay, I took the boat out this weekend and the carpet was really starting to get manky on it. A lot of pieces were flapping in the wind. Trolling motors quit working. Had some electrical wires that had come loose. So decided to pull it into the shop and take a look at it, just see how far I want to go with revamping some of this. The motor's still fine, trailer's good, bilge pump works fine. That hatch was an add-on at some point. This seat box is funky, it doesn't quite match up with the rest of it. Had those rod holders stuck all over the boat. There was another sort of a step-up box right here that was funky. I took it out. Everything riveted in. Got a subfloor here that's riveted, but I don't feel any flotation in there. So that's a good place. There's probably an inch and a half of room to put some foam flotation in it. I don't like this little console, never have. With the full tank of gas, 2 people in the boat, you sit here and with any kind of a chop you get wet. So also in the winter time when you're running, you get your legs are exposed here. Passengers 100% exposed. Going to the boat show today, we're going to look at maybe we can find somebody to fabricate a little, say a steering console here that goes all the way to the floor that we can put a windshield on. Say a half size, because my wife is half size, console to put on that side of the boat. Give her a little windshield as well. Protect her legs all the way down. Doesn't really have a live well. It's got some storage boxes, but there's no aeration or water in or outflow. This whole deck up here on the front only has that one box. There's styrofoam underneath this deck for flotation. I think what I can do is get more storage space out of the back side. I probably have to remove some foam from the back side, but I can add foam back in to the subfloor and then even put some foam across the sides there and then box that in either with plywood or aluminum. Definitely need more storage up here. There's not much. And then you have just this funky area in the middle that I think I can bring this whole deck further back, at least to the console, and so that they hit flush. Maybe pull this console forward a little bit. Put a small box over here that would be a step-up box onto the casting deck, and that box would be my electrical and my battery box. Like I was saying before, with full tank of gas, 20 gallons of gas, 2 passengers and batteries in the back, this thing sits pretty low in the rear end. I'll see if I can just rearrange the weight distribution on this thing and maybe it'll ride a little bit better. If not, I may have to get some float cans to put out the aft end here. I've seen some that you can get some buoyancy pods and just weld them onto the back of the boat right here and on the back on that side. It ends up being a little bit of a fantail that you can step out on them. Anyway, it's a project. The really only decision I have to make is whether I leave the motor on or not. I was really thinking about pulling the whole thing off, take the motor off, flip the boat upside down and put an epoxy bottom coat on it. And while I'm at it, go ahead and repaint the hull outside hole. I think with what I'm doing on the inside, you probably won't have to paint much of that. Of course, got lots of places where old things were mounted. In fact, a lot of these little anti-skids that the guy had put on before were just to cover up old holes that have been drilled. You can see there's been multiple trolling motors mounted on this thing. Holes here, here. What I'll do is I'll build me a box support out of square tubing out here, and then mount the trolling motor on that, so it'll be a straight inline mount, easier to get around on. The way it was before, it was angled across the bow this way, so you're having to step over the motor coming in on the bow. So we'll try to fix that. Yeah, it's a mess right now.